The Great Commission began as a task of titanic proportions. In today's secularized, fast-paced, and high-tech culture, we are standing against an enemy that is highly competent, well-capitalized, very dedicated, and operating with apparent impunity. We are competing in a crowded field that includes school, sports, family, friends, and now the Internet. Each of these social influences is in a dogfight for the attention of our young people. Involvement. The traditional family can no longer be assumed to be the center and circumference of the life of our young people. It is far from certain that parents are going to provide spiritual leadership in the lives of their children. In the past, we could count on families to be the source of a perpetual stream of youth program participants. Not anymore. Instead of family and schools being our allies, in too many cases, they are part of the problem. Parents. We may not like to talk about it, but parents can sometimes be a problem. Perhaps just a distraction. At other times, they can be the source of our misery. Yet, we need to engage them. We need to reach out to parents as partners in our ministry. Workload. If you're a full-time youth minister, you already devote your entire work schedule to the task at hand. If you're a part-time youth minister, that means that you have other important, yet competing responsibilities. The last thing you need is a longer to-do list. Budget. In a perfect world, we would be able to embrace every helpful ministry tool that comes along. But it's not a perfect world. We must be good stewards of the financial resources that have been placed in our trust. Yet, at the same time, we must invest wisely in our youth. Technology challenged? Maybe you're a techno junkie, or maybe you can barely use a word processor. Either way, this video is for you. Well, that's a lot of challenges, but there's a lot of good news. Competition. The fact is that we can, and we must, compete. Every resource available to our competition is available to us. Involvement. Never before in history have there been so many and robust ways for us to engage our youth and their parents. Speaking of parents, we should no longer think of them as a burden or part of the problem. We now have the means to engage, communicate, and partner with parents, including those that are geographically distant and even those that are seemingly uninterested. Workload. The tools exist. They are available to us to accomplish more with a lower investment of time, labor, and money. Budget. It's not enough that the tools are simply available. They must also be affordable, even for the smallest youth program. Everything you see in this video, all of it, is included for $29.95 per month with no contract or long-term obligation. This is not an introductory offer to lure you into something that will cost more later on. Yes, you can do this. We can do this as a team. The challenges have been overcome. Now, let's take a look at the substance of each technology at hand. We all send and receive email. Yet managing email groups has confounded even the most techno-savvy among us. If you're using Microsoft Outlook or something similar, you may be familiar with some of the problems. In many cases, the list of recipients is shown in clear text. Just because you have someone's email address does not mean that you have permission to share that email address with the entire group. What if a recipient accidentally, or purposefully, clicks Reply to All? If they do, the dialogue that would best be kept private between the two of you is now aired to the entire group. What if you're not at your office when you need to get the word out right away? What if your hard drive crashes? Today, many internet service providers limit the number of recipients that may be included in a single email. Also, most anti-spam engines are looking for an unusually high number of recipients. Your legitimate email may get routed to a spam folder. The alternative is a listserv. Unlike a contact list, it is a hosted solution whereby you create a single email address that has an unlimited number of underlying subscribers. You simply send an email to the listserv address, and an individual copy is distributed to each subscriber. The advantages are that subscriber email addresses are never compromised. Recipients may unsubscribe silently. Replies will always be sent to you. There is never a reply to all. Let's keep this candid and to the point. Regardless of how you personally feel about text messaging, there is one single and compelling reason that implores us to embrace, not resist, this technology. Young people are using text messaging in staggering proportions. It is their preferred way to communicate. Either we get into the text messaging game, or by default we have surrendered this turf to the enemy. Maybe you've never sent a text message. Maybe you're like me and you have a 7-year-old plain vanilla garden variety cell phone that does not have a fancy keyboard or a touchscreen. Maybe you have no desire or funds to go out and buy the latest smartphone. If you have a cell phone, you hold in your hand a powerful ministry tool. The possibilities are limited only by your imagination. A single authoritative message can be sent to your entire group, including parents. It can be delivered as a text message, perhaps preferred by youth, or it can be delivered as an email, perhaps preferred by parents, or both. It can even be posted to Facebook. You can compose your message from any computer connected to the internet, or your cell phone. Groups can include youth, parents, or both. You can become the master, not the slave or the victim, of today's technology. Instead of making or responding to an avalanche of phone calls, seize the initiative. Get on top by sending your notice, reminder, or last-minute update that will be delivered in real time to your entire group, including parents, in the way that fits their lifestyle. How many times have you given sign-up forms to your youth group to take home to parents? And how many times have those forms gone undelivered? How many times have parents been delinquent or possibly unable to remit deposits for activities that you have worked hard to plan simply because they didn't get word about it in time? How many times have you had to answer the same question repeatedly concerning a youth activity? In less than 60 seconds, you can easily head off all these questions and put everybody's mind at ease, including your own. I'm not really into Facebook. Our church already has a fan page, and it's doing pretty well. Our church tried Facebook, and it never really did much good. Regardless of your past experience or lack thereof with Facebook, please keep an open mind and prepare to be truly amazed. Facebook is the single most significant ministry communications invention since the telephone, radio, and television. Why? I won't list the endless stream of metrics and statistics. I'll simply rephrase a point made earlier. Let's keep this candid and to the point. Regardless of how you personally feel about Facebook, there is one single and compelling reason that implores us to embrace, not resist, this technology. Young people are using Facebook in staggering proportions. It's their preferred way to communicate. Either we get into the Facebook game, or by default we have surrendered this turf to the enemy. I hope you're willing to at least consider how you can use this valuable ministry platform. As partners engaged in a life and death struggle, we must set it as our goal to win. Fortunately, we have a strategic weapon that is not presently available to the enemy. I'm going to assume that you're somewhat familiar with Facebook. This may or may not be the case. However, I know that you can understand mathematics, so let's get into this. Facebook offers organizations a fan page. The idea is to get as many Facebook users subscribed to your fan page as possible so that you can post messages that will be exposed to each of your fans. Like many businesses, you may have even invested in Facebook advertising to get more fans. Regardless of your success or lack thereof, there is good news. By His Grace Ministries has developed a proprietary technology that makes it possible to reach not only your fans, but the friends of your fans as well. Let's do the math. Suppose that your church has a fan page and has accumulated 600 fans. That means that you have the potential to reach each of them with your message. Not bad, especially for free. However, each of those 600 fans has an average of 130 friends that you are not reaching. Now, ask your youth group members how many Facebook friends they have. Do not be surprised when you find out they have way more than the average of 130. Many will have anywhere from 3 to 10 times the average. But for this illustration, let's stick with a conservative Facebook published average to see what happens when your message, our message, the Great Commission, can reach the friends of your fans. 600 fans with an average of 130 friends yields a potential audience of 78,000. As Christians engaged in the Great Commission, if you are not convicted with the implications of what is before your eyes right now, please pause this video and pray earnestly until it sinks in. 600 fans with an average of 130 friends yields a potential audience of 78,000. In the interest of brevity and not disclosing trade secrets to the enemy, I will not try to explain the details of how this technology works. Suffice it to say that it does work, and it's available to us. By His Grace Ministries is eager to be your technology partner, as together we strive to fulfill the Great Commission. Thanks for watching.